Hey guys, hope you're doing very well. In today's video I'm going to start a new series, possibly, maybe. I'm going to see how you guys like this, and if you're not into it, that's fine, I won't do any more. But I really wanted to talk about like the other side of tattooing, which is not so much to do with the art but the people behind the tattooing. Obviously there is a lot of history when it comes to tattoos. You know, they've been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and obviously, you know, there's a lot of sort of historical figures within tattooing. So I thought I'd make, you know, a video, or maybe 2 or 3, 4, let's see how it goes, on people that are really inspirational within the tattoo industry. And it's not all going to be like your normal sort of tattoo wise. I want to talk about, you know, people across the world that do different techniques and stuff like that, and that is what this video is about today. I'm sure some of you may have heard of this wonderful lady, but if not, I'm going to divulge into who she is, how she started doing tattooing, and the history behind her type of tattooing and all of that fun stuff. So I thought it'd be a little bit of a mix-up for you guys, and you know, a nice break from talking about the art of tattooing and my tattooing experiences. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. So now that that intro is over and done with, let's talk about this wonderful lady. Okay, so Whang Od Oggay, I hope I'm saying her name right. You guys know me, there's a big possibility slash chance I'm gonna butcher nearly everything in this video, but I'm gonna try. But yeah, Whang Od Oggay is the oldest tattoo artist alive, supposedly. There could be older ones, but from what we know of, she is the oldest tattoo artist alive, and she is 102 years old and she's still tattooing. Like, can we just, like, if that isn't inspirational enough, I don't know what is. Like, she is so kick-ass. And Whang Od was born on the 17th of February in 1917. She's from Buscala in Kalinga, Philippines. So before I start talking about Whang Od Oggay, I want to talk a little bit about the history of tattooing from her ancestors and her tribe and stuff like that. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to talk about that. So tribesmen from the Kalinga province many years ago were known as headhunters. What they do is they'd go out to battle with other tribes and they would fight for land and resources. Now the reason why they were called headhunters was because they literally took the heads off of their enemies. Like, clean off, took them off as a trophy to bring back to their tribe. When the tribesman returned to their village or their tribe, they would have a massive celebration with a feast, and they would dance around a campfire and stuff like that. Like, it would be a full-on proper good old knees up. After they had the celebration, the men that brought back the heads of the other tribes, so the people that cut off people's heads and bring them back, would get tattooed to show their feats of strength. There's an actual term for this, and it's called feeing. This basically means warriors would get tattoos on their chest and their arms to show how courageous they were. Whang Od actually practiced doing feeing until headhunting was discouraged or somewhat banned, to be honest with you, by the government in 1972. When it comes to the headhunters and getting tattooed, the tattoo artist would specifically choose the designs for the warriors. So they had absolutely no say whatsoever on what tattoo they would get. The tattoo artist would design it for them, so they would put on like a stencil for them. Their warriors, tribesmen had no idea. It was kind of like a lucky dip situation. And the reason why they did this is because the tattoo artist gave them something that they thought represented the warrior. For men, they had to earn their tattoos. They had to go out to battle to be tattooed, and it showed that they were courageous, like I was saying. But for women, it was more of an aesthetic thing or a beauty thing, and the more tattoos that a woman had, the more beautiful she was seen as, which I wish that was the case over in this side of the world, because I'm sure if you're a tattooed woman, you have been called some things. The family of the woman that is getting tattooed has to pay either in livestock, like with a pig or something like that, or they have to pay in food. Whang Od Oggay started tattooing at the age of 15 and she learnt from her father. The technique of tattooing that she does is not what most of us are used to. I've seen this technique at tattoo conventions, but for the most part I'm sure most of us are used to machine tattooing. Her technique is called batok, which is a hand tap method. This technique has been around for thousands upon thousands of years, and it could possibly be the oldest technique of tattooing. There is obviously just hand poking with a sharp object, which probably is the oldest technique of tattooing, but this could probably be a second. How she tattoos is by using a bamboo stick with a handmade needle, normally made out of a thorn, attached to the end, and then taps it with another bamboo stick. The ink is handmade and it's made out of charcoal, ash and water. Now of course Whang Od Oggay does not use stencils the way we use stencils in this part of the world, you know, with is it thermal paper? I'm not entirely sure what it is, but obviously she does not have the resources to use that kind of stencil, so she makes it up herself by using a bit of string to lay down some ink onto a person's skin to create a pattern or image. As we know, and some of you may know if you've had a hand poked tattoo, you'll know this type of technique of tattooing can take a lot longer than a machine tattoo. After doing some of my research and watching videos and reading blog posts about people that have been tattooed by Whang Od Oggay, some of them have said that it hurts to get this type of tattoo way more than it does to get tattooed by a machine. And other people have said it's like nothing. They didn't feel absolutely anything. So I'm guessing it's to do with your pain tolerance and the location of the body. She is tattooing because obviously different placements on different people hurt different types of ways. So there's no definite answer as to say what is more painful. But I guess it depends per person. But yeah, people will literally sit for hours upon hours upon hours going through being hand tapped, just to have the experience of being tattooed by Whang Od Oggay and to just experience a traditional method of tattooing. It's definitely something I would love to experience sometime in my life, and yeah, I can see why people would go through it, definitely. To get tattooed by Whang Od Oggay is actually a journey in itself. Obviously she lives right up in the jungle area, and you know, transport and getting around is not as easy as it is in, you know, countries we may live in, you know, England, America, other places in Europe. Like getting around places can be quite easy, but in the Philippines that's not so much the case. I'm going to quickly read a segment from a blog post that I found by someone called The Broke Backpacker, and he wrote a massive blog post about his experience when it comes to getting tattooed by Whang Od Oggay, and he also put in a segment where he talked about how he got to where she is. So I'm going to read that for you guys because I'm not going to remember all of this. So here is, I've just got the website up here. To get to Buscalan, Whang Od's village, you must first travel to Bontoc, an easy jump from Sagada or an overnight bus from Manila. From Bontoc, you can catch a daily jeepney, I'm not sure what that is, from outside Derek's restaurant, just up from the police station. That costs 150 pesos and will take you to the turning point near Buscalan. The jeepney usually leaves sometime between 1 PM and 2 PM. It is well worth riding on top. You will be rewarded with stunning views. The jeepney should take you off the main road and up the trailhead where you can begin the hike to Buscalan village, home of Whang Od. As soon as you get off the jeepney, you will probably be met by local guides. You have to take a guide or you are not allowed to visit the village. The guide fee is 1,000 pesos per day per group. You only need the guide for the first day. Make it clear that you don't want to pay the guide fee after the first day. The trek to Buscalan takes between 40 minutes and 2 hours depending on fitness. You can also travel by zip line for 100 pesos if the zip line is running. It often isn't. Wow. So that's not like me, you know, just jumping on a train to get a tattoo in London, which is very, very straightforward. Like, you have to go through some things to get to this village. So people are super, super dedicated to be tattooed by Whang Od Oggay. And I can see why. Like, she is a living legend within the tattoo industry, or tattoo culture, shall I say. And yeah, that's a journey. That is a journey, but I'm sure it's very much worth it. So to get tattooed by Whang Od Oggay, once you've done that travel, if you are lucky enough to meet her, apparently she will only tattoo you if she actually likes you, which is fair enough. You know, she's a living legend. She has every right to be like that.
Kasat na ay matoy. Ako siya kanatsay. Taon no agad. Halito no, ang sakamaw no. Anon sa paylayan. At siya kanatsay na. Sa siya important na hato.
Whang Od Oggay has been described by the many people that have been tattooed by her, well, the very lucky ones that have been tattooed by her. They have said that she is charismatic, funny, inquisitive, and just an all-round sweet lady who is very much dedicated to her craft. If you are lucky enough to get tattooed by Whang Od Oggay, she has a sort of board, kind of like a flash sheet full of tattoo designs that you can pick from, or you can have her just sort of freehand a design on you. I don't think I'll ever be lucky enough to be tattooed by Whang Od Oggay, unfortunately. It's definitely something I would love to do personally, but I don't think it will ever be an option for me. But I think if it was an option for me, like if I was lucky enough to be tattooed by her, I'd definitely let her do whatever she wants on me, because she does designs on people that she thinks will fit them, you know, their personality, their characteristics, and she'll just, you know, have at it. And that's definitely something I would do. I think it would enhance the experience so much. And yeah, I would definitely let her do whatever she wanted. I'd love to know what you would choose. Would you choose a design from a board, or would you let her do whatever she wanted? I'd love to know. I think for some, I could understand if you wouldn't want her to design anything, because like, you know, you might have a theme to your tattoos, or you may want something that complements your tattoos and there's a design on a board that you really like. But I can understand why people would also not want to choose, because it's part of the experience, and it's kind of, yeah, you get to experience her creativity and what she's known for. So as we know, I don't know how to say this politely, but as we know, you know, Whang Od Oggay she's getting on a little bit. She's 102 years old, and she's starting to worry about who is going to carry on the legacy of batok tattooing. Whang Od Oggay had a boyfriend when she was younger. He unfortunately died when she was 25, and from that point onwards, she vowed to never marry anyone else or have any children. So this means she has no children, no grandchildren, no great-grandchildren to carry on her legacy. According to tradition, so if you remember me saying earlier that her father taught her how to tattoo when she was 15, there is a tradition and a belief that you can only inherit tattoo skills. Whang Od Oggay and other batok tattoo artists believe if someone outside of the bloodline starts tattooing, the tattoo would be infected. But luckily enough for Whang Od Oggay and the batok tradition, Whang Od Oggay has been teaching her grandniece how to tattoo.
Sa maliin sa lars, ranson mansuyo asan apum ta matoy aad si Jarvis Subli. Sa chika-ikad ng Sublian Chris, matoya ad Subli.
I'm Grace Palikas. Isa ako mananato dito sa Kalinga. Nagsimula ako 10 years old, so 11 years now. Nagsimula lang sa nood lang. Tinuruan ako, nagpaturo. Sa akin, pag nagbibigay ako ng ito, parang isang masaya ako na ibinibigay namin yung kultura namin sa ibang tao. Sana ganun din sila, kasi umakyat sila, tingnan mo naman. Isang bilibid na ano.
I really do hope Grace can continue the legacy of Whang Od Oggay, and she will be known as the next Whang Od Oggay, and people will travel all around the world to get tattooed by Grace, just like they do for Whang Od Oggay. I really do hope this tradition keeps going and going and going, because we need it. Like, without this type of tattooing for us on this side of the world wouldn't be the way it is today. It just wouldn't. Like, this kind of traditional stuff needs to keep going. We need to keep it alive. So I really do hope for Whang Od Oggay's legacy and her father's legacy that it continues for many, 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 many years. Anyway, guys, I think that's enough for this video. Hopefully I have given you enough information so you know more about Whang Od Oggay and her inspirational story. And I'd love to know your feedback on this video, and if you'd like more videos like this. Yeah, I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. And until my next video, bye.